If you're still using a basic WNBA matchup page, you're missing almost everything that actually matters. The WNBA matchup dashboard that I use not only tells you all the stats side by side of those teams' advanced stats, but also how those lineups have performed against each other in the past. Have those players done better versus their opponent? Have they done about the same as their recent average, or have they done worse versus the team that they're facing that day? We also dive into how they have played in the past in that arena versus that opponent that they're playing. I'll show you how I use this each and every single day before I even think about placing a bet on any player props or team props for that day. Here inside the WNBA game dashboard, I'm going to show you how you can use this to get a great view of the games each and every single day. And a lot of people like to use ESPN or CBS to look at matchups, and you're just missing so much information when you look at that. Yes, you can see basic stats, which we already have on this as well, but it's not made for sports betting or sports betting research. So we're looking at the Phoenix Mercury New York Liberty game, and you'll see it's got the points per game, opponents points per game, same thing, all ESPN, CBS, whatever dashboard has, but it also has the rankings for where those teams rank across the league. We also have situational points per game and situational opponents points per game. And what this is, the Phoenix Mercury, they're on the road. So this tells you how many points per game they score and give up on the road. New York Liberty are at home, how many points they score and give up at home. So the New York Liberty actually score more points per game than they do at home. You would think a team plays better at home. It's not always the case. And we're early in the season. This could change and reverse, but it's great to look at this, especially early in the season when you're seeing how these teams are playing so far. We've got average points differential. We've got the pace as well. So what the pace is the amount of possessions each team gets per game on average. So certain teams have higher pace, certain teams have lower pace. So if you're betting an over, you'd want faster paced teams. If you're betting unders, you might want to look at slower paced teams. And these teams are ranked 11th and 12th. So they're sort of slower paced teams, average to but more back half of the league in terms of their pace. We also look at offensive, defensive rankings or ratings, as well as their turnovers per game, steals per game, and then their records. Now we also have the against the spread record. So just because a team has a good record does not mean they're covering the spread. And what the spread is, if you don't know what against the spread is, or ATS, that is how well the team covers Vegas's spread. So Vegas sets a spread for each game, and just because a team is winning does not mean they're covering the spread. So we can see New York here, overall they're 2-2, same with the Phoenix Mercury. But the against the spread home and road, this tells you how they are in the situation they're in. So at home, the New York Liberty are 1-0 against the spread. They just have one home game. And the Phoenix Mercury are 1-1 on the road against the spread. We can also look at how they do as the underdog against the spread, as well as the favorite, and look at the last 10 games. Now, early in the season, it doesn't matter as much, but when we get further into the season, it's more important to look at the last 10 games to see how they've been playing of late. We also can look at the lineups here. And what this does is the pills, you're going to see some are green, some are red, some are blue. If they're blue, that means they're about the same on average versus this team versus their regular season stats. But if they're in red, that means they play worse versus this team statistics-wise compared to their season average. And if you look at in green, like Sabrina here, although she's out, she plays better versus Phoenix than she does normally. So that's very important to know which players play well versus this team, which players don't play well versus this team, or which do about the same versus this team. And if we scroll down further, we can see game analysis. If you want to look at it more of a write-up form, we can see also more against the spread and betting stats, as well as the injuries and head-to-head, how well they have done and who covered the spread. Did it go over and under? The last 3 games versus these teams went under, and Phoenix covered the spread 2 of the last 3. So we can scroll down here as well. We can add these teams to our bet slip and scan for the best odds across all sports books. And we can also see how well they've done of recent. So we can see the Mercury, they've covered the spread in 2 of their last 5 games, and 4 of their last 5 have gone over. The Liberty, their last 3 games, they didn't cover the spread and it went under. So important to look at the last 5 as well, not just the last 10 against the spread. You can scroll through each game and see each and every single matchup each and every single day. So super helpful to be able to see all of this. And at any point, if you want to click on a player and pull them up, you're able to, and we can look at their charts and see their each individual stats for that day and versus that team. We can go versus Chicago. We can get the head-to-head stats, see how well that team or that player has done versus that team each and every single day. So great tool to look at the board and narrow everything down and get a better view of everything, something that you're not going to be able to get if you look at just basic game logs on an ESPN or a CBS, any website like that. If you want to try this out for yourself, click the link in the description, create a free DataStreak account, try out the WNBA game dashboard along with all the other tools on DataStreak that I talk about in these videos. If this video helped out, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you in the next one.